All right, welcome back, everybody. It is another chapter discussion episode here on the Public Safety Special Broadcast, coming to you, not live, but coming to you from the Public Safety Ultra Secure Media Bunker. We are here today to talk about the latest chapter of Chainsaw Man, chapter 159, Attack on Samurai. Oh, let's go. Before we get into that, let's all introduce ourselves. I am, of course, your host, Public Safety Media Division 18 Vice Captain, Secret Doves, age 33, and my contract is with the War Devil, of course. Let's all go around and give your name, age, and the devil contract before we get into the discussion. Spy, go ahead.
Right. My name is Spyghetti. I'm 17. My devil was attacked by the chainsaw devil, so I don't have a devil anymore.
it's gone. Oh, man. Alego.
I am Alego. I am 19, and last week I have been haunted by the Jujutsu Kaisen Discourse Devil.
Ooh,
Luckily, we won't be talking about that today.
We could drop in Miguel. Miguel, show us your stuff, Miguel. I'm excited. I want to see him do his thing.
Yeah.
He's only done his thing once before, and he got fucking rolled, you know? Show us what you got. But we won't be talking about that today. I'm sure he'll prove everyone wrong soon. We're talking about 159. This was a very interesting chapter. I liked it quite a bit. You know, even on the very first page, there's some interesting stuff. What did you guys think about this this trio, the Three Stooges? You know, you know me. I love my analogies. Got fucking Larry, Moe, and Curly here.
The Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers. Three Stooges. It really is. We got Larry, Moe, Curly. You know, we got who would be who? Probably, you know, Larry's a smart one. So that's fucking what's his name? Haruka. And then
Haruka, Nobana, and Seigi.
Curly is the goofball, so that's fucking Nobana, and Mo is the silent one, so that's fucking Seigi. It's literally the fucking Three Stooges. I love them. But you know, Haruka he's fucking lost in the sauce. Like, he wants to see Chainsaw Man. Get out of here, Cade. You're
I mean, to be fair, we already saw him start a society, then a cult, then a church over Chainsaw Man. I don't know. Yeah. I think he's already crazy enough to do all this.
I mean, that's true. He doesn't really like. He's cooked, right? Like, they set him up.
I mean, Seigi says so. He said, "I don't have anywhere else to go." Like, he's right. They don't really. They're wanted terrorists.
That was really interesting to me, though, because, like, okay, Nobana, yeah, he's a wanted terrorist, but he could go home, you know. I assume. I mean, Haruka is like a rich guy.
I mean,
he could.
Let's be honest. Like, if Nobana went home, his family will sell him out for the reward.
you should take this opportunity. Learn from your big sister, get the fuck out, kid. But the one that really interested me was Seigi. This is like one of the few lines. We've increased Seigi's spoken lines by like 30% with this line here. He has nowhere else to go. Very interesting, like what is up with this kid? He's coming into the story more, why the hell is this guy even around still?
Seigi is especially suspicious to me because, like, in the previous chapter, you can see how he's, unlike the others, unimpressed and not sweating at all. Like, he doesn't say a thing, he just stares, doesn't seem scared or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very excited to see, like, it seems like with this, we're gonna be unfolding these characters more. Like this little I don't know, loser brigade of these three, Fami and Yoru is gonna,
Like, you had mentioned it once that, like, the Falling Devil arc was like the end of the introduction to part 2, and like,
yeah.
now that I'm looking at it, I think this will be the first confrontation arc of part 2. The previous arc feels like the introduction to Denji's character and storyline,
Right.
his cat, etc.
Right. So we had our Asa arc, which set her up, and then we had our Denji arc, which set him up, and now we have our two protagonists in their respective, points in development, and now they're supposed to be smashing together. I wanted to ask you two how you felt about that. I'm interested to see everyone's perspective. How you felt about that aspect of the story, where like we got all this investment in Asa, and then she was, given this role in the story as like Denji's replacement for the Chainsaw Man Church, right? And then we kind of just left her there. How did you feel about all of that? Like we never really got to see that aspect of the story in detail.
I definitely would have liked to see more of that. Like, I understand why it would be good, like, give Denji his own whole arc, but I mean, it's Asa. She's been hiding herself for like her entire life. Her suddenly becoming famous would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been an interesting thing to explore. Spy, how did you feel about it?
Well, like, my thoughts are conflicted. On one side, I understand, and honestly, it won't happen that necessary, especially considering that Fujimoto said it up to explore it later, so it's not that it's gone. But, like, at the same time, I would have liked to see her in a few stories, killing some devil, getting better at fighting, like whatever.
No, I mean, yes,
You know,
little.
I would. I hope, like, we get at least or make of her fighting or something. Or in a future, a beauty story party or something with her and Yoru fighting to her. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth because on the one hand, it is. I mean, this is like, Fujimoto really does the like this minimal storytelling style, right? Where he wants to give you the important points in, as in like the tight little packages of dialogue that make sense. And going back through it, reading through the Denji's arc with just like a full, no stop and start, like a full flow process development, it does make sense. There's like enough there to understand what it is and like why it works the way that it does, and it makes sense with her character. But I don't know, man. It felt so free. Like you could have had just like a chapter, like literally just one more chapter besides Sentimental Drive, exploring this a little bit more, and it would have been like very easy and free, just like a free chapter you could have had, and everyone would have liked it. Was it that necessary? I mean, I guess not, but because we're back with Asa now, so there's plenty of time to develop the ideas
Uh,
now. But
I
yeah,
guess reason why he didn't do so is to keep the dreading tone of the art as a whole, you know? It was sad, depressing, lonely, like,
yeah,
having Asa be happy and show herself like what we're seeing in these last chapters is what kind of take away from that, I guess.
I think
I think that could still work. I mean, you could also include Asa by having like Denji watching the news and he sees her like killing
right.
a devil or something. You don't really need even an entire new chapter, just a few panels where we see that she's doing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have been so free, just like a cool Yoru fight, dude. You had a free, cool Yoru fight you could have done at any time, and you just didn't. I don't know. We're getting cool Yoru fights now, though, so I mean, all right, maybe I could. Ultimately,
Finally.
yeah, this is something I think
Yeah.
a weakness, I guess, of Fujimoto's style. Always like there's all sorts of like character interactions and unexplained stuff.
Anime that it seems really overwhelming.
Sorry, I activate my phone.
Uh, there's a lot of things like Aki and Power's relationship, like literally what the heck happened to Kobeni, like all sorts of stuff where you're just kind of like, I would have liked to know about that, but it's not strictly necessary to the plot that pushes through the whole thing. And then when you have the full plot in front of you and you get through it, you're like, yeah, there's some stuff missing, but this is good. So, all right, fine. So we'll see. We'll see if he can give me the Yoru satisfaction that I demand. Uh, After skipping over a big chunk of potential here.
She has fought in like since the Yuko arc,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
Yeah.
and
yeah.
I found it kind of sad because every time Yoru starts fighting or something, it's extremely cool. Like her parents first, like she always it's always so dynamic, so dynamic, so cool, so pleasant to see.
You're you're speaking my language, brother. Oh my god, dude. Yes. Fucking please, cool Yoru. I demand it. Okay, I will say I'm pretty fucking pissed off that we got 606 sword and then we did not see what it could do at all. Like,
Yeah, like
come on.
where is it?
Where is
Like
the
I'm
sword?
assuming she left it at home for some reason.
Well, the weapons all disappear, right? Like they don't like
Do they?
necessarily stay
Like,
around. I
and
mean, none of
the
them.
uniform sword just broke, but I
Right.
mean the others like they're never really mentioned again.
Well, yeah, but they're not around now. It's not like they had the
Yeah.
fucking McQuarrie spear at home with them or the nail knife or anything. So they don't last forever. I guess. Whatever. I'm I'm mad. I want. God, that sword was so cool. What are you doing? This guy.
I think I
Classic
think
Fuji.
it's possible that she just has this saved somewhere, like in the beginning of part two, she says something about wanting to make multiple weapons to fight Chainsaw Man later on. I think she
Sure.
probably has this stored somewhere. And like since they were supposed to knock Cal the security guard attention right away, a big ass sword being handled by the uh, average hate gear with a single hand, that's
Yeah.
pretty scary.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she's got it stashed in her missing arm or something. I don't know. We'll see. Fujimoto does the most random stuff. He can literally do anything. His power system makes no fucking sense. So, literally anything can happen. We'll see. Maybe 606 Sword will come back. I hope and pray. That sword was so badass, but other weapons will be cool, I'm sure. I'm sure this guy has no problem coming up with other cool weapons, and I will eat it up every time. All right, that was a little preamble. Let's get into this.
No, continue. Yes, forget about it.
Yeah, we start with world building, exposition with this eye patch guy. That's it's not the most unexpected because this guy was kind of introduced and set up as like some kind of important public safety guy. But this monologue was not something I honestly expected to see. What did you guys think about this information? You both are like active theorist types. The Fire Devil attacks are ongoing. Hello?
I was talking and it mute. I didn't realize it was mute.
I thought so. Yeah. What did you think? What did you think about this?
Okay, all right. So I think the Fire Devil can control when these people transform. It's not doing it randomly. It's obviously conscious. I think it's doing it with the purpose of making people fear Chainsaw Man even more. Because, like, yes, you have people fearing getting killed by the Chainsaw Man, right?
Right.
But, like, what the world you fear more? Being attacked by one of these or turning into one of these and killing the people around you?
Yeah.
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 It also forces the government to keep watching out for them. So if they all turn into Chainsaw Man at once, like they could do one big operation to get rid of them, but now they have to like put surveillance everywhere to make sure that no big attacks happen, which also makes people fear them more.
Exactly.
It also right.
I forgot.
Okay.
It also creates this like ambient villain of the story, right? Like if Denji, whenever Denji's eventually returns, um, if Denji wants to reclaim his rightful identity as Chainsaw Man, he must defeat the Fire Devil and stop these fake Chainsaw Man from appearing, and become the true Chainsaw Man again. Because, as long as Fire Devil's around, these monsters are going to keep showing up, and his identity will be in question.
I mean, will it really? Because on the other hand, you still have the fake Chainsaw Man. And ways looking, I don't think it. Uh, I don't think it's actually a fair devil contract. Not like the other, for example.
I think so. I think it is, though.
Like, for example, when we can see its silhouette in chapter 112, right?
Right.
No, 111. And it has a chainsaw head without a handle, etc. Unlike the chainsaw heads, which are just have chainsaws sticking out of their head.
Well, they don't have them sticky. Some of them do, and some of them don't. In this very chapter, some got the Chainsaw Man arms, and some do not.
Yeah.
Baram mentioned in Chainsaw Man War 135. Is that right? I think that's right.
Yeah, I think so.
He mentioned that most of them turn into monsters without reason, but not all of them. You know, some people would turn into Chainsaw Man. Maybe they turn into Chainsaw Man. You know, like maybe they are
Yeah.
another Chainsaw Man. So I think the most straightforward explanation is that this fake Saw is like the original, you know, the first Fire Devil contractor who turned into Chainsaw Man. And then we're gonna learn about that at some point. Maybe
I
it's
I still think it's possible there are multiple fake someone,
yeah. I think
Yeah,
that,
yeah, definitely.
especially now, that could definitely be the case, right? Like,
Like,
Like, for example, like when we first see fake someone, we see it opening its mouth, grabbing Yuko's corpse as if he was about to eat her. I
yes,
always thought that was as a foreshadowing or as a callback to people saying Chainsaw Man eats dogs and cats and people, because some have seen a Chainsaw Man doing that. But I don't know, first of all, I don't think it's possible for Denji to recover his reputation anymore. I think that's really over now.
well, does he need to cover his reputation, or does he need to cover his identity? You know, does Denji really care if people think he eats cats and dogs? Probably not. Or like people,
I
like
mean,
whatever.
not
He
now.
did,
He has more things to worry about at the
and he
moment.
has eaten a person, so it's not like exactly fucking. You can't exactly be like, no, I never did that. So you know, it is what it is. But he wants to, regardless of
Like,
the hate or love, he wants the attention. He wants the identity, right?
like I really like how this was has been set up ever since part one. Makima first says Chainsaw Man don't belong to you anymore. It's now people are even making toys or merchandise of him.
Yep. Yep. It's very
They're
good.
taking Denji's identity from him and now belongs to to people, etc. I think that's mainly meta commentary on part of Fujimoto.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Fujimoto's stuff usually has that aspect of I mean, he just comments about his own life, right? But his life is creating art, making Chainsaw Man, since his entire adult life has been as a mangaka. So
Well, most of it. For example, just listen to the song. We see the protagonist, which name I don't remember, hating his work, taking from him, people misinterpreting it for the things that hating mean to, and making a response video to it, and people getting disappointed when he chose what it truly was, right?
mm,
Mm.
He wanted people to listen to what his work was saying, but people
they,
did. I think Fujimoto thinks a lot about the reader versus author interpretations in the story.
mhm.
I don't necessarily agree with his view on this whole topic, but like it's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
very interested where he goes. Alego.
yeah, a couple chapters ago, Benji is. I mean, his identity is being completely taken away. He's literally being cut up and put in boxes right now.
Yes.
He's not viewed as a person anymore. So if he gets any of that back later, I think it'll be more about him reconquering his own identity or creating something new instead of his public reputation.
Right. Currently he decided that he wants to be Chainsaw Man, but he has not done that yet. Right.
Yeah.
That was the choice he made, but he is in the process of living with those consequences. And so we'll see what happens with him. However, on the other side, we have Asa. Do I want to talk more about this guy? This guy's this guy was really interesting to me, though. Someone had mentioned that he talks about God, and we've actually seen like God has been a topic a few times in part 2, even though it was pretty much completely absent in part 1, right? Like, I don't know.
Actually, well, I don't know if you know this, but like, Fujimoto commented in an interview on a certain magazine. I don't remember which. I can show you later. The name. I don't have the link. That there's certain words he tried to avoid using during Chainsaw Man Part 1. Or concept, whatever. One of them being cited as an example by him, God.
Yeah.
And you can notice that despite devils, churches, heaven and angels appearing in the story, God is never once mentioned in part 1. And we can even see a cross and anything, but never God. All until chapter 141.
Yes. I mean, Barem has talked about God. Miri has talked about God. Now this public safety guy is talking about God. That's very interesting. Also, I don't think war was mentioned very much in part 1, even though there was like international conflict, and Makima talked about World War II briefly.
There was another mention of war during part 1. Actually, a quite important one. Remember
when
when
Aki was like asking Makima about the gun devil.
they were going to war.
I don't think they talk about war. They talk about like it's a fight over control over the gun devil, but they're not talking about like the word war specifically.
No, they said like it will be some kind of war. I'm looking for
it right now. I will send it.
Go. I will. Let me know if you pull it up. I think it's.
Yeah. Makima says it here. She says, "I'm sure it will be a kind of war."
Yeah, a kind of war.
I was.
So there's like a couple instances of them talking about it, but it's like obviously not to the extent of part 2. So it's been very interesting. More other concepts coming in, and like you said, it's like this trajectory from part 1, like all this stuff about
oh man, from the wording of God and everything, I was thinking about how much it's constantly related to, well, fire or justice level. It's first mentioned by Barem as how it's fair that they do it because they were created by it. Well, Barem has direct connection to the fire level. Then Mir saying our fairness, and then our dude here talk about how it isn't fair, how he's not a sinner, how that is happening to him, even though it is fair to, well, he does deserve that suffering in his part.
Yes,
it's interesting. While he's looking at the creation of the fire devil. Well, fire and God are very related in the Bible. There is multiple mentions of it, and I think it's very interesting.
God, fire, and justice. Moses on the burning bush, etc., etc. The Ten Commandments. Yeah. I see. Okay. I mean, Fujimoto definitely 100% goes for Christian biblical references. I wonder if he's was like raised Christian, one of the like, you know, I don't know, extremely small percentage of people, or if he just has some hyperfixation on it, you know, like Ano before him.
Like, honestly, I think it's a very interesting development in his stories. In 5 points, for example, his religious references were limited pretty much to vague reference in the name. For example, Agni is the god of fire,
Luna.
Zulia, etc. Yeah, you know, and Judah, obviously. But that's about it. Meanwhile, Chainsaw Man being loaded, like very loaded.
Pushing the numbers up, dude. I think that's, I mean, yeah, that was a nice discussion about all the stuff up with this guy. And once he's done waffling, and he's like, actually, I had a 6-month affair. And it's like, okay, bro. Well, all right, dude. And then we get it. And now we get the real sauce of this chapter. Katana Man is busting in again. This is. Oh my god. You know, I think we have all realized that Fujimoto loves Katana Man. Like, he really fucks with this character.
Yeah.
I actually think his integration to public safety very fitting. Like along Nailfiend, Kwang Shi, Yoshida, and Fumiko, each represent a different part of it. Nailfiend is like the super authoritarian part of it, you know? I've heard people say he's a cool devil, and how the way he acts, like a single misword makes it kill someone. Because it is not getting given a respect enough. Katana Man, in the other part, is, well, someone intricated with the fake righteousness of the Yakuza, samurai, etc.
Yeah.
Fumiko is, well, a terrible cop, like abusive, someone not to be trusted. Quanxi, well, she's the representation of ignorance is bliss that was accompanied by public safety commodity in part one. And you
Yeah.
see, well, the chilled abused by the state to do its bidding.
Yes. Yeah, so it's
It's
like
very
this it's like this fucked up the fucked up side of public safety now. Just like, you know, Division 4 was like this goofy squad that was, you know, doing their best in spite of things, but these are all the fucking like real real twisted up uh part of public safety. Yeah, I see it.
And I wonder what Fumiko's role is in the division, because she doesn't really seem to fight anything ever. So maybe she has like a Makima role where she just organizes everything, or
Real fraud Miko powers.
Maybe she's the Batman of the group. Like, she's like the one to make the tactics, I guess.
They put her on guard duty though. Maybe she put herself on guard duty. That's possible.
She probably just wanted to be close to Chainsaw Man, so I imagine she volunteered for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't find it pretty weird because she's in Special Division 7, which
Yes.
are rated made by from Everett's fiends working with public safety, as we had seen, and people that are strong enough to keep an eye on them. But she's neither of this. So
The
what is she doing there?
it's the Devil Termination Division, right? So these are the like front line, the highest priority uh fighters. Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is all stuff. I assume this is all stuff that's gonna come out, you know, in the next few chapters, in the next 5-10 chapters, we'll be learning about all of these characters because, one thing about the Katana Man comeback, um, he's like the last one of the hybrids who showed up thus far. Obviously, Reze is in complete limbo, just hanging over the narrative, ready to drop like a bomb at any moment. Who fucking knows what's gonna happen with Reze? God, this manga's it's cooking some spice, but of the revealed characters, Katana and this, whatever fiend this is, they were the last two. So, you know, will Quan Chi be next? That would make sense. And then will we get to see Barem and all of them? Probably as well. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if we'll be see Barn, because last time he was still breathing. Like public safety definitely took the other events were splattered in the ground like flies, but Barren could have dragged himself after doing whatever he did or not.
he was pretty fucked up though.
Uh,
He's not doing so good. Go ahead.
Talk?
Alego?
Hey?
sorry. So it definitely makes sense for Quan Chi to be the next to show up. Like, seems set up. Like, maybe others have other opinions on this, but I don't think that Katana and Nail are gonna win against Yoru. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to die immediately, but to maybe hold her up for a couple minutes. I think they're stalling for Quan Chi to arrive.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure it's like, if they take her out, great, but like, we got backup on the way.
Even though party has had a different, very diverse art, it always has a main antagonist in every art. Yuko,
Yeah,
Eternity, Fallen Level, the Church, Baron, it still has a main objective in every arc, even though it doesn't need to be like Eternity, since it really was just a complementary background thing at the end.
right.
So that gets me to wonder who will be that person in this arc.
Yeah.
Fumiko, maybe? She seems like to have the most like opinions. Katana is just
Yeah.
doing some there for Denji. I'm assuming Quan Chi has a whole ignorance is bliss mentality that doesn't really make for a very
Right.
engaging villain. So I think it'll be Fumiko. I'm interested in seeing how she interacts with Asa.
Oh yeah, Fumiko versus Yoru. Sign up. Oh my god, let's fucking go. That'd be some sick twisted shit. I definitely want to see that.
Another possible alternative to who could be the main antagonist could be Yoshida, you know? Since he already had folk, semi-folk, Yoru once, knows should have been probably has prepared to fight her, and probably has some strategies to try to attack her, take her down.
Yeah.
Considering he's the only who has actually found her already.
Yeah. I wonder about that. Like, what is going on with Yoshida in the midst of all this? Man, Yoshida. I mean, Yoshida, Quanshi, Kishibe. This like trio of characters, one of whom is still MIA. Like what's what's going on with them? What's the deal with this? It's very it's hard to tell. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like Yoshida is happy about the conclusion of Denji's story, but he also doesn't think he can, or uh doesn't know how, or like even doesn't think it would be right to like stop this from happening, or something is holding him back, even though he tried to keep it from happening.
Yeah. The most depressing option, I think, is that he just becomes like a regular suicidal devil hunter. He just fully embraces the dog mentality. Just gives up on. Like, he failed to save Denji. He think he wants to help him, but he can't really, and doesn't think it's really right anymore. So he just gives up. But I hope it doesn't happen, because like there's
I
a
think
good chance he dies if it does.
I
Yeah.
honestly hope it don't happen later because like I think we've had devil hunters with tragic endings that I the best like with Aki.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see him getting along, opening up to others like he should, because it kind of be too sad.
But with who though? He
I'm
doesn't
kind of
have friends.
I'm kind of hoping that we get the trio is not off the table still. It's still possible.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
biggest problem here will be Yoru, which is always the biggest problem in every time these conversations. But
Yes. Yeah. Man. I mean that also connects with Fami's whole plan, which, man, this is so like it's been really funny to see sort of like how, what would you say this? How like uncoordinated, I guess, like how much Fami is basically improvising, apparently, right? Like she's not a mastermind. She's just like she's just like doing shit and hoping it works.
Yeah,
I mean, I
she's
I think
complete.
hilarious how she first tries to turn upside throat the eternity devil. Immediately goes to the end of the spectrum and throw her a primal devil. And
Yep.
then she decided to talk it nicely to her, like, oh, please help me, that. And it worked.
Yep.
Like, I wonder about those first plans though, because she wanted to starve Asa and like turn her into a pawn, I'm assuming. But like a chapter ago, we discovered that her pawns are a lot weaker than
Right.
the regular and the restricted. So, what was she planning to do then? Fight the dead devil with a weakened war?
Well, in the very first uh the very first thing she does is she brings Yuko back to life. Which is still just like a total, what is with her, dude? Literally, what is with this character? I'm so fascinated. I just, everything we learn about Fami just is so intriguing. All of these horsemen devils, they're just so, oh man. They're really the heart and soul of part 2, and they're all so interesting. Yeah, but also in the Eternity arc, she wanted Asa to turn Denji into a weapon, right? That was her condition.
Yeah.
Asa got around, which Asa was also trying to do. And so, you know, maybe that's still on the table. Maybe that's the whole thing. What, you know.
It's very strange, because like she knows what Denji is. She knows if Asa feels out, she will be shocked, and I don't think we'll have the will to attack him. So why is she bringing Asa with her to the prison? Especially when she can just teleport her in, or well, them in. I feel like she's actually making her do through all of this for whatever reason. She wants to make some, I don't know, something.
Yeah, I mean, can she? We don't know anything about her warping ability, right? Like how it works and what it does. So, still, that's a big question mark on the table. That's one of those things that he could have, you know, he could have laid out in that if he took some time to explain about it, but he didn't want to. He wanted to leave it still confusing to us. So, whatever. Sure, dude. Maybe it's her plan. Maybe she has some restrictions that we'll find out about later. Who knows? Who fucking knows what this guy is cooking at this point? But speaking of what he's cooking, we end this chapter with just a series of beautiful Yoru drop kicks. Fami getting fucking flung around. God, absolute nonsense, dude. This manga is so fucking ridiculous. This guy's a fucking weirdo, man. He just can't have normal stuff.
She did that on purpose, I'm telling you. Like, she didn't need to kick her in the head,
Yeah, Yoru had to get some kicks in, Yoru. Oh yes, and we're staring down the first, we had Yoru versus Yoshida. Ooh, maybe it was gonna happen. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
This is a Yoru fight. It is definitely gonna happen, right? Finally.
Look, and artists are against Yoru. Look, like, she doesn't have an art. It's three people versus her. And she has to defend Fami all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because Fami is their main objective to kill. They were trying to kill her first in
Right.
both occasions.
Yeah. They were not. When, Yoshida was sent in, the order was to capture the War Devil, right? I mean, fucking, capture the War Devil. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, yeah, that's probably pretty good. You probably want to do that, right? In terms of, like, geopolitical power in the Chainsaw Man, you would much rather have War Devil than kill her.
I'm still not sure that Yoshida was trying to capture her. Like, I keep looking at that panel and it genuinely looked like he was aiming for her neck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if they wanted to kill her, why not like bomb her house? I mean, if they really want to make sure she's dead.
Right.
To be fair, they can really do that. It's still an apartment. Yeah, there are other people over there.
They need to destroy the entire thing.
Yeah, just level a city block, why not? No big deal, right? All right.
But like, yeah, like they could like genuinely, but like in this moment, public safety is going through a lot of hate in contrarians. A lot of people are hating them. So doing people things that kill civilians after being ineffective on the eyes of the public, well, it will simply drown throw them down the rank in the next elections.
Yeah, I don't think they. I mean, we do know they literally sent the order to capture her, right? The order was not to kill her;
Yeah.
was to capture the War Devil. So even however, Hirofumi Yoshida was approaching that task, that was what he was sent there to do. Didn't work, which is why we're here now. We have Yoru versus Katana and Nail. What do you guys expect to see in the next chapter? What do you guys?
Quanti appears at the end. Quanti appears
Yeah.
at the end.
Okay.
Simply
Either
because
Quanji or Fumiko and Yoshida, but
you,
probably Quanji.
I think it will be Quanti simply because numbers. You know how chapter 51 was something about dreams, and another chapter of the same number in part 2 was the same. I don't remember exactly which, but it was something about that. Dreams and Dreams next stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
How Eternity appeared in chapter 15 change of part 2, meanwhile it was on 14 of part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Quanchi short during these chapters, if we go by that, like in the International Assassins, you had her, well, you know.
This would line up. This would line up with the part one structure. I could see that. I mean, it would make sense. Fujimoto usually doesn't do like multi-chapter like fights. Like a fight might be
Yeah, it's
75% of a chapter or something. Like Reze arc is a notable exception, but otherwise, it's very much a few pages of the action, like in this chapter, and then some other stuff going on. So
Or a one-sided massacre.
yeah, or just
yeah.
literally one page of everyone gets rolled, like Darkness Devil, and it's GG's, and then other stuff happens. I You know, I would like to see a longer back and forth battle here. I think everybody likes Katana Man, and this name unnamed fiend is fan favorite. Very very colorful, intriguing character. So it would be cool for them to get some moves in, show their stuff. Plus, we all want to see powered up Yoru doing cool things, right? Like we want to see Awesome making sweet weapons, switching back to Yoru doing cool stuff. Like we want to see the action. We're at the precipice. You can't do this to us, Fujimoto. You can't do it again. You skip
I was thinking, like, no one is talking about the fact that Yoru has finally met one of the weapons.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
That not only because it's epic, no, because weapons.
Yeah.
Weapons of
yeah.
war. He literally makes weapons. There must be a connection there. And considering both Yoru and Katana Man hate, despite, detest Chainsaw Man, I think it's possible they call team up after she bets him up, Oh, you hate Chainsaw Man? Join me then.
That would be pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
So
I
I would
mean,
have some opinions on that.
I mean, I think that has been something people have been wanting. I mean, people have been talking about a lot with Miri Sugo, like Yoru turning him into a sword for some reason. Everyone's like, Yoru's gonna turn Miri into a sword. I guess she makes a lot of swords, so it does make sense. But this is a katana; it's a sword. But how will she, you know, own the Katana Man, right? What will she do? Maybe, like said, convince
I
him
mean,
to join her, and then it's GG because she doesn't even have to touch him at this point. Like if she just she just gets, if she can just establish that psychological mindset enough for Asa, right? And Asa's like completely like she's lost in the fucking sauce right now. She's off the rails. So her psychology is fucking freaking out. So
I personally don't know if she will really try to kill people right now. Like, yeah, there's the whole thing with she wanted to make weapons, but like she has long abandoned that goal right now. She's respecting Asa's wishes, and you know how she kicked that guy before, right?
yeah.
She made it so it won't kill him because naturally a kick on the face she could have blasted into the wall with her new strength and all.
I mean, is that strength still as up as it was though? Like people were very afraid of the war when things were going crazy, but now they're afraid of Chainsaw Man, but it's not like there's a war going on anymore.
I
So
mean, who knows? Like,
yeah,
I've been thinking about it a lot. First of all, the falling devil attacks have raised tensions between countries, as we know. And then there is that a Japanese terrorist organization, made terrorist attacks all over the world. Like, we don't know much of what's going in the background, but I think it's pretty possible a war is expected between people.
Like, Yoru was still fast enough and strong enough to kick Fami out of the way twice, so she's probably still strong enough.
Yeah.
Yes. We will see. We will learn soon. There's going to be another chapter discussion next week. It's 5 in a row. That's pretty crazy. It's who was it? Mana, Japanese commentator on Twitter, mentioned this is the first time that this has happened since 2021. 5 chapters in a row.
No, actually, not actually. In part two, this has already happened before. During the Yuko arc, there were 7 chapters in a row without a single break.
Right.
Back in 2022.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been that's what I meant. I thought it was 2023, but 2 years ago in 2022, Yuko had during the Yuko arc there was that stretch of chapters that were weekly, and then for a while during the Falling arc it was like there'd be like 3 weeks on and then a break or something, and then like a couple breaks for volume covers, but we didn't even have a break for the volume cover this time. Like the volume cover came out and it was still weekly. So, he's got some kind of production line back in order. It's not the like fully shaded, detailed level of art that we started part 2 with, but it's looked pretty good, and it's coming out on a quite a clip. So he's got something working now. So we get another one next week. That's nice.
Something I wanted to mention, but like I forgot. Oh yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think will happen to the Three Musketeers? Like, what will they do?
I think the eye patch guy is gonna try to take one of them hostage. Like,
I
think we get Seigi boxing eye patch guy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
He's the only one who fought, and he did okay. He did all right. Eye patch v eye patch. I'm feeling it. You know what I mean?
I mean, Ice Patch probably is pretty strong, no? Like they set him to be watching over Denji and kill him if he tries to escape. Right. I don't think they will put an average Joe over there. At the very least, he has to be better than Fumiko.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a very high bar.
That's a low bar, man. I put Seigi over Fumiko. He has punched someone once. Fumiko has not done that yet. So, strictly power scaling wise level, we've got a punch from Seigi and nothing from Fumiko. So,
I mean, she did throw a bat once, and that took a guy. Well, but it was in the head, so.
Is that true?
Yeah, like the guy with the model.
In the karaoke, yeah.
Okay.
And it's not as good as punching Yuko, who can read minds several times and dodging her attacks, okay?
That's true. It is less. It is less hitting some rando like punk with a bat who didn't even have a real gun. But regardless, we will see what transpires soon in a couple days when 160 comes out. 160 chapters of Chainsaw Man. Wow. We are getting into it here in part 2. Everything is coming together. Many things are being revealed. Will Katana Man become just Katana at the hands of Yoru and Asa? Ooh, baby, that would be spicy. Let's see what happens soon. Thank you both my guests for coming on discussing. It was a very interesting discussion. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone who listened, like, subscribe, comment, tell us how stupid we are. We will read your comment and then delete your comment. We will be back next week with another one. Goodbye.